Assalamualaikum. How are you? So today I'm going to share with you a recipe that's not of mine. It's one of my favorite Food Network hosts, one of the show, Barefoot Contessa, Aina. So I'm going to be baking or try to follow one of her recipes to bake a cake. It's chevron, chocolate chevron cake. So I'm going to follow her recipe, but keep in mind that I'm not going to be using exactly the same product she's going to be using. I'm going to probably be using the cheaper version of everything and whatever I have handy. So I'm going to go ahead and try the recipe out and see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get started. So as usual, we will probably need butter. Not probably, we will need butter, sugar, eggs, flour, things like that. So I'm going to start off with a stick of butter. So a stick of softened butter, one stick. Unsalted is better, but what I have is sweet cream butter. This is what I have, so this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use a stick of that. You're just going to pop it into your mixture machine, whatever kind you have. If you don't have any of these, just go ahead and use your hand and just mix it up. So I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm going to use this one. I struggle every time when I'm trying to put this in, but now that that's in, all right, good. So first of all, I'm going to put in the softened butter, room temperature. Make sure it's not melted into liquid. You need the softened butter for the proper texture. So I'm going to take this out and dump this in. Keep it right in. There you go. There's a lot of butter left because it really is melted. So I'm going to scrape them off and just put them right in. I'm going to use this paper in a little bit. It has a lot of butter stuck to it for the pan that I'm going to use to bake the cake. So a stick of butter is 8 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to put that and add sugar. So we will need 1 cup of sugar. One cup of sugar. And I'm going to just there, lock it and in medium and make it all nice, creamy and fluffy. So while this is mixing, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the dish for in which I'm going to bake. This round dish. It calls for 8 by 2 inches dish, but this is not quite that. It's a little bit larger, but I'm going to go ahead and use it. We will need parchment paper. So I already have some ripped. I'm going to try to cut this into a circle. Another time. Let's get it creamy and then just kind of eyeball measure it. And then perfect. So remember the butter over here? I'm going to stick it here. Not on it, first on the pan itself so that the parchment paper can stick on it. There you go. And then some on the parchment paper. See? No waste. No waste. Now that this is ready, I'll put this aside and continue with the mixing. So I'm going to go ahead and add 4 eggs. 4 eggs, crack them in one at a time. Right. Once this is nicely mixed in, you can use a spatula to kind of stop this and scrape everything off the body of the bowl, because since it's butter, it can get stuck. And then you continue. And then one thing you will need right now is some chocolate syrup. Now I am using the one Ina uses, Hershey syrup, but you can have whichever, you can use whichever one you have handy. So it calls for 1 6-ounce can, but this is way more than that. So if you cannot measure it like that, what you can do is you can use 1 1/3 cup. So 1 cup and 1/3 cup. Yeah, sounds like a lot, isn't it? But it is a lot. Let's do this. 1 cup. Alright, this one was already used. My girls use them to eat pancake and waffle and things like that, but thank goodness I have a new one. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Okay. 1 cup and 1/3 cup. That's it. And I'm going to go ahead and start pouring this in here. Scrape everything off. Don't leave anything in. That's 1 cup. And here's that 1/4. Alright. Now that that's in, we're going to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now, I need to go get my vanilla. Vanilla, just in case I ran out of this one, I'm going to use some one. This is a tablespoon of vanilla extract. One tablespoon. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop this for a little bit and add one of the very important ingredient, flour. So we're going to need 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Use a knife so that I can do the measurement properly. So here's my flour. So it says that you add the flour only until it's barely mixed. You don't have to mix it too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit at a time because you know how flour makes a flour dust. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Add a little bit of it. And then stir it. I'm going to try and add while it's still going on. It's working just fine. And I kind of forgot to preheat the oven. You have to preheat the oven to 325 degrees. So let's do that. Preheating the oven to 325. I'm going to scrape it off a little bit with the spatula. And give one quick mix one more time. That's it. The batter is ready. Alright, I'm going to move this a little bit and bring my dish here. Here's my ready dish. Yep. Scrape everything off. Don't leave even a drop in there, because every drop you leave is every drop wasted. There you go. It's all in. Okay, so the oven has preheated to 325 degrees. I'm going to pop this into the oven and leave it in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes. I'm going to check after 40 minutes with a toothpick to see if it's cooked inside. If not, I'll keep it for another 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And pop it right in. Let's just wait. All right, so the cake is baked. Let's take it out. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to let this rest. So while this rests for approximately 20 minutes, I'm going to make the rest of it. I'm going to make the chocolate ganache that will go over it, and I'm also going to make the white sugar paste that will go as the chevron decoration. So let's start off with the chevron decoration, sugar paste. So what you will need is half a cup of powdered sugar, confectioners sugar, powdered sugar, caster sugar, whatever you may want to call it. If you don't have this at home, you can always take just regular sugar and just use a blender to just blend it into powder, and that's it. That's confectioners sugar. So half a cup of confectioners sugar or powdered sugar, put it in a bowl. Put it in a bowl. Yep. And mix that up with some water. Let me show you. So I'm going to take about half a teaspoon of water. Just half a teaspoon. You don't need much for the paste to be ready. Half a teaspoon water. That's it. Let's see how far it goes. If it doesn't work, then we can add more. Yep, we might need more. It's 1 tablespoon. I was supposed to use half a tablespoon, so there you go. We don't want to make it too runny. So I ended up using half a tablespoon of water for half a cup of caster sugar. This is the consistency. Yeah? So I will put this aside. I will use this in a little bit. Okay? So while that's happening, I'm going to use the same measuring cup and then measure half a cup of heavy whipping cream. Half a cup of it. Pour it in this bowl. And we will use 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever you have. The recipe calls for semi-sweet chocolate, but I'm going to use some of milk chocolate and some of semi-sweet chocolate. So since it calls for 1 cup, just regular milk chocolate. Maybe a little more. And some of the semi-sweet. And then dump it in this heavy thing. Okay? And then we're going to use 1 teaspoon of granulated coffee. Just 1 teaspoon, because coffee enhances the taste of chocolate if you use the right amount. 1 teaspoon coffee. That is it. So while all this was happening, I have put a pot of hot water on the stove top, and I was letting it simmer. You have to put just enough water so that when you put the bowl in it, it doesn't touch the bottom of the bottle, the bowl. When you put the bowl, the steam of the water will melt the chocolate, heat up the milk. Okay, so now that the water is simmering, I'm going to submerge this bowl in here. And I'm going to leave it alone for a few seconds. I'll leave it alone for a few seconds for the milk to warm up. Because once the milk is warmed up, that's when the chocolate will start to melt. Alright, let's see. This is what it looks like right now. So the chocolate is very slowly melting. So we should leave it alone for a little bit longer until this melts. This water should be simmering. While the ganache is getting prepared in the simmering water, I am going to get the cake out of the dish and place it so that I can start working on the ganache pouring part of it. Okay, so let's see how this goes. There you go. And perfect. So I'm going to place this very gently on top of this dish that I've prepared, so when I pour the chocolate, it can pour all over. I don't want to break it because this is still very soft. So very gently. So this is what I've made. It's best if you have some sort of this is what it is, okay? So I'm gonna pour the chocolate on top of this so that everything extra will fall over here. So the chocolate is ready. But you gotta be careful because it's a little bit hot. So you have to be very careful. It's very hot. Wipe the bottom of the bowl and ever so gently pour the chocolate. It's supposed to fall from every side. Oh, Ina makes it look so effortless, so easy. Alright, now the part that makes it the chevron cake. I have a Ziploc. I have to do this really quick or else the chocolate will get too hard and it will not work. So pour the sugar paste I had made earlier. Alright, so take a Ziploc and get all of it to one corner. Okay, and then I'll cut a little bit, get all the air out, a little bit. As you can see, it's all pouring out, and then make straight lines. Okay, now that that's done, this is That's what it looks like at this time. But let's get a toothpick and let's do this together. Voila! Alright. And that's the chevron. That is what makes it a chevron cake. Woohoo! Alright. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna place this on a nice dish.